I want to take just a moment here in the ReliefFactor.com studios to acknowledge the life, the legacy, and the family of Greenville County Sheriff's Deputy Conley Jumper. Sergeant Jumper was killed during a traffic stop. It shouldn't have happened. It was an awful, awful crime. On October 20th, there was a traffic stop. It was an odd series of incidents. Deputies initiated a traffic stop on I-85 in the upstate of South Carolina, and then one of the occupants of the vehicles began fighting with one of the deputies, which led to a struggle, and during the struggle, Sergeant Conley Jumper was struck and killed. Yesterday, Joey Hudson, who is the executive director of Gallagher's Heroes, the Fallen Officer Fund, which is the Mike Gallagher Show Charitable Foundation, paid a visit to the family of Conley Jumper, and he joins us on Skype and on the Mike Gallagher Show. And you're going to hear a lot of Joey on Friday, February 12th, because he is going to be guest hosting the Mike Gallagher Show as I conduct some personal business. Your big debut, coast to coast, Mr. Hudson. Are you up for the task? Are you ready for it?
I'm going to be sitting in the big boy's chair.
And you're going to do a great job. I know you're going to hit it out of the park because upstate South Carolina audiences love you, respect you, appreciate your morning show. Of course, you and I have been friends for many years. Our families travel together and have known each other for, well, decades. And I know yesterday, in your capacity as executive director of our foundation, it was probably with a heavy heart that you met with the family of Sergeant Conley Jumper. Tell us about the commemoration of this bigger than life hero and what happened yesterday in the upstate.
Well, it's a unique experience from the standpoint, Mike. Quite often we mail checks with financial assistance to these families. We ship out thousands and thousands of Bibles, first responder Bibles, but it's not often that I get to actually meet these families. And yesterday was unique because Conley Jumper, of course, right here in the upstate of South Carolina, lost his life tragically, as you described, in this very odd situation. Conley, or Jumper, everybody just called him Jumper. He was known for his work out on Interstate 85. It passes through the upstate of South Carolina here. He was known for his work with his canine and sniffing out drugs. A number of big drug busts out on our interstate here because of the work that Jumper was responsible for. So, I don't know all the details of the accident that day. I suspect it probably was some type of drug-related incident, but just very tragic. But I got to meet his wife, Sarah, and his mom and dad yesterday, and personally deliver a check from Gallagher's Heroes and from the Greer Police Department each year here in the upstate. And this is something that hopefully we can encourage others to do. The Greer Police Department, they have a memorial softball tournament every August to raise money for those killed in the line of duty. They make those donations to Gallagher's Heroes. We put the money into a special account and we distribute it when they have an officer in their area killed in the line of duty. That's what we did yesterday, and it was so special to get to talk with Sarah, Jumper's wife, talk with his parents, and they were so appreciative, Mike, of your listeners, our listeners all across the country for the money that they donate, because as you know, that's how Gallagher's Heroes, that's how we operate.
Right.
We take the money that generous listeners donate each year, and we distribute it to these families when they're in a time of need. And it was very special.
And incidentally, this gives me an opportunity to remind everybody, again, the mission of Gallagher's Heroes, the Fallen Officer Fund, is we do provide financial assistance to the families of law enforcement who have been killed in the line of duty. A lot of them have unexpected expenses, funeral costs. It's just a godsend for a lot of these families who aren't expecting a check to kind of come out of the clear blue for them. That's unexpected. And secondly, as you mentioned, we published the First Responders Bible. First responders deal with things the likes of which none of us, mere mortals experience. Whether you're a paramedic, a firefighter, an EMT, law enforcement, all of these folks go up against unspeakable things. And the First Responders Bible is a King James Bible and a spiritual fitness manual to help these first responders. And we publish these and distribute them thanks to the generosity of those who support Gallagher's Heroes. So before you continue with meeting the family yesterday, Joey, I want to, our listeners have a variety of ways that they can assist. As you said, there's different police departments around the country, like softball tournaments. I know a lot of people who do things that help Gallagher's Heroes. You go to our website, gallaghersheroes.org, and you'll get all the contact information. You'll be able to connect with Joey Hudson. You'll be able to talk to some folks who can help facilitate that. If you want to help fundraise for Gallagher's Heroes, the Fallen Officer Fund, and if you just want to make a donation, you can just call 888-99-I-GIVE, toll free 888-99-I-GIVE, or go to gallaghersheroes.org. There's also a link on my website, mikeonline.com. A lot of people order things on Amazon. If you go to smile.amazon.com and select the Mike Gallagher Show Charitable Foundation as your preferred charity, you don't have to do anything other than select our foundation, and a portion of everything you buy online will go to these hero families. So there's a lot of ways you can give. Again, smile.amazon.com and click on the Mike Gallagher Show Charitable Foundation. You have to search for it and it'll pop up. You can call 888-99-I-GIVE or go to gallaghersheroes.org. And thank you for supporting these brave families and first responders all over the country. As you said, Joe, I'm sorry I didn't interrupt you, but I wanted to get that in there because it had to be very gratifying for you to spend some time with Sergeant Jumper's family yesterday.
Well, it was. It's very special to get to not just mail a check, but to hand deliver and to talk with her.
Yeah.
And Mike, she was very complimentary, very appreciative of your listeners. She's a big fan of yours. She says she's listened to you since you were here in upstate South Carolina many years ago.
Wow.
So it was great. And you mentioned the First Responder Bible too. You know, these are tough times that we're living, and we've seen a big increase in the request for First Responder Bibles. We will soon have shipped 50,000 of these First Responder Bibles since we started this a few years ago. And so that's become a big part of our mission.
Yeah, you get requests. I think we get requests almost every week from a fire department or a chaplain or police department somewhere in the country. Hey, can we get some of these first responders Bibles? And they're all published. I mean, we send them for free. We don't charge these departments, but we need our listeners' generosity and Americans' generosity to get them out to people. Joey Hudson is our guest. He's the executive director of Gallagher's Heroes, the Fallen Officer Fund. He's the morning host on 94.5 WGTK, The Answer. And he's going to make his nationwide debut when he guest hosts for me on Friday, February 12th. I think you'll have a few things to talk about, Joey. Today, I hear you were getting dragged because once or twice you referred to Biden as President Biden, and that got you in some hot water with people.
Big mistake to call Joe Biden President Joe Biden.
Boy, people are mad.
I learned quickly that I shouldn't be calling him President Joe Biden.
See, we're in the mission here. Like I said at the start of the show, when people didn't want to hear wall-to-wall inauguration coverage. See, we're trying not to tick off listeners. We don't want to chase people away, Joey. We want to welcome them into the fold. However, I know people are angry and emotional, but you know, he is the 46th president of the United States, as painful as that may be. But then again, that's why we're here, Joey. That's why you're there in the mornings in South Carolina. That's why we're here after you during the day. Boy, talk radio is going to be an oasis in the desert now for millions and millions of Americans going forward.
Well, and it's more important than ever as well that we continue this conversation daily. Our listeners are frustrated. They're disappointed. Yesterday was a sad day. It was very sad for me to watch Donald Trump board Air Force One for the last time. And look, they couldn't even leave him alone then. There's criticism now of what the First Lady wore on her flight back to Florida. I mean, can they not leave these folks alone?
Yeah, but Kamala Harris, now she's a real fashion icon. Now she's going to be on every magazine cover. I think she's already been on Vogue 3 times. All right, Joey, I can't wait for you to make your debut on, and incidentally, Joey's a lot nicer than I am. So he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's a person of integrity and honor, and you're going to love hearing Joey Hudson on Friday, February 12th. And thanks for your delivery of the check to the Jumper family yesterday. Joey, please give them our love and our appreciation and our respect for what they've had to go through. It means a lot to me that Mrs. Jumper has listened over the years. Thanks, Joey. God bless. Keep fighting the good fight, my friend.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure.
Joey Hudson on the Mike Gallagher Show in the ReliefFactor.com studios. Your voice, your perspective